Welcome to the Galactic Mind Weather Report. So yesterday we closed off the blue hand wave spell with the archetype known as the blue cosmic storm. And after any good storm, the clouds always part and the sun comes out. And so today we're opening up the 13 days of the yellow sun wave spell. Now the yellow sun archetype is also known as the enlightened one. And the sun comes out after a storm to show us what's left behind, to show us what has survived, the wraith of the storm, the shaking and the winds and the lightning and the thunder. Because when a storm enters our world, you could almost say that it's like the function of a storm in nature is to test the integrity of the plants and how they are integrated with the earth. For example, if you look at a tree, and when a storm moves through a bushland, if a tree has good solid root system that's holding it anchored into the earth, and it has a good solid trunk, its core strength that is holding it as it sways, then that tree will most likely survive extremely strong winds and powerful storms because it is in integrity and connected deeply into the earth. It's very grounded. It's anchored into its own core. It has core stability and strength, and that allows it to flow with the ebb and changes of reality. Now, if that same tree did not have a deep root set, anchored into the ground, if the foundation that it tried to grow in was actually not solid in the first place, the soil was loose, it was a very steep, plain, it could be all kinds of reasons. And if it wasn't getting enough nutrients and the tree, was kind of a bit flimsy, it didn't have a good strong trunk, then when that big storm comes through, it's going to blow it over. The tree will not survive. And so when storms enter our lives, they come in to help show us, the things that are not in integrity, and it might mean our relationships fall apart under that pressure. It might mean our jobs, our houses, the things that we hold so dearly for our safety and security outside of ourselves can sometimes be taken away from us. And we can drop into this victim pattern, like, poor me, it's like there's nothing but bad things happening. I keep losing everything. And so the yellow sun archetype arrives for this next 13 days to help shine the light on the hidden meaning behind this, to shine the light on what is strong in your life. So take the time for this next 13 days to have a look at what has stayed by your side, what is not wavering and getting knocked about and disappearing all the time. What is it that is natural to your flow in life right now? And really allow the sun to remind you that you are your own sovereign being. You are more powerful than you think. And when we talk of sovereignty, what I mean by this is that we have, in our society, because of our fear of death and our fear of these insecurities, not wanting to lose things and for safety, etc., we've kind of put all of the responsibility of authority and making decisions into our governments, into our different systems, our economics, and we've externalized everything. And as a byproduct, we've kind of become these victims in our culture where we spend more time, look at the TV shows, look at the news channels, pointing fingers, whose fault is it, who's to blame, and it's this constant projection outwards on who's to blame for the mess that we're in right now. And the reason we have this mess globally right now, in our personal lives right now, is because we're still putting the responsibility outside of ourselves for our own well-being, our own happiness. And the yellow sun comes to remind us today that happiness is an inside job. Your personal success is an inside job. The way you perceive your reality is what helps form your reality. If you feel like a victim to the world and you keep pointing the finger and blaming and naming and shaming and the rest, then you are taking part in a system that is perpetuating the victim cycle. And you'll find it's like quicksand, that you will not make any progress from that. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes we just need a vent. Sometimes, yes, we do need to bitch and shout, and that's okay. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. But if you look at it from a purely mechanical perspective, it's not going to help you get out of it. It's not going to help you create the life you want to live. And so the yellow sun archetype that comes for this 13 days is almost like the divine father figure that comes in, with a discipline that comes to remind all of us that we are responsible for our actions. And we must allow that light to shine inside ourselves, to have a look at what do we want, what is strong in our world. Because when this storm shakes up and so much is being taken away from us right now, what we really need to do is look at what is strong, where are our foundations in our own personal lives, and when we find those things, we need to start anchoring into those things and start creating the next steps of our future right here and now based on the things that are solid in our lives, the relationships and friendships that are solid in our lives. And from there, begin to build this power inside ourselves so that no matter what is happening outside of you, you don't react out of fear and reinforce the victim pattern, but instead you walk as a leader, as an example of an actuated, fully empowered human being, and shine the light forward, shine your light out into the world, and believe in yourself. You are worthy, and we do need you. We need each other. We're all part of this galactic puzzle together. So the yellow sun comes to really remind us that that we have this life force, that they say one person that is fully actuated and fully shining their light, fully believing in themselves, has more influence on the world around them than thousands. I don't even know the number they say, but it's thousands and thousands of people that don't believe in themselves. So use this 13-day period to strengthen your resolve, your inner resolve, to find your inner authority, to reclaim your inner kingdom, to become the king and queen of your own inner kingdom or queendom. Inside here, this is my realm. And we need to stop letting people outside of us telling us how to live inside this personal realm. No one can tell me. And I'm slowly getting there. And the more that we stop allowing the outside authorities to tell us how to run our inside lives, the more we begin to clear a space inside of ourselves where we can begin to anchor in and ground a much more peaceful, loving presence that can then shine back out into the world and hold space for those that haven't made that space yet, and help them along by not telling them how to, but shining the light on the pathway so they can help make their own way there without tripping over the rocks along the way. So here's to becoming our own sovereign creator beings. Here's to the power and the strength that is inside each of us, that is inside you. Whether you know it or not, it may be lying there dormant, just waiting for you to clear the blockages that we have in our mental belief structures so that you can allow yourself to fully flow. So enjoy this yellow sun wavespell. It may be challenging, but think of it as an obstacle course. As when you take on an obstacle course, it's I was sent a video of my son. He's staying at some family and friends, and they had this obstacle course where the kids were running around. They were jumping over things and lifting things, and things that normally we would sit there and go, I don't want to do that. That's hard work. But because the kids saw it as an obstacle course, it was a game. It was a challenge to prove yourself, to go, yeah, I can do this. Man, they were so dynamic. Their energy was awesome. And so we need to be like children. For this next 13 days, we need to look at what arrives in our lives, all the challenges that turn up, and look at it as an obstacle course, that we do not need to be, destroy, but we need to overcome the obstacle course. We need to believe in ourselves that we can overcome any obstacles that come our way and take them on head first and find a way over. And if it feels like you're not strong enough, then develop the strength. Do the inner practice and find a way. Because we will need this inner strength. We do need courage to live a full human experience. But it's already there inside you. So allow the yellow sun to shine upon it and help you find your way to it. Thank you for tuning in to the Galactic Mind Weather Report. I'll see you mid-Wavespell in Lakesh.